have the in team in the background supporting you, just let them know. You've
Okay.
got Daniel and Leo so far. Sorry about that. So I'm sure they heard the message and they will start recording shortly.
Yeah, he came at the beginning and he introduced himself and he said, if I need help, he's here for me.
Absolutely.
And
they're there in the background for any tech support, anything, just let us know, okay?
Great, 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 great.
Have a great presentation. We look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you. So we start in
so now the countdown is saying 1 minute 20. When you give us the sign, we will start.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah.
All right.
Let me just say hi to...
I don't need luck, but have a great presentation.
Let's say hi to people who came here for us.
Yes, go ahead, please. Make it as interactive as possible.
Nariman, can I tell publicly that Mr. Kao was my teacher, and here it is. Mohammed Zerouk was my teacher too. Can I tell them?
Oh yes, please.
It was 2 years ago, right?
Yes, you're still very, very young, Dara.
Mohammed Zerouk was my teacher. Mr. Kao was my teacher, and that was back in 2018 or something.
Yes, back when Mr. Kao was 30 years old.
Yeah.
Now he's 32.
Exactly.
23.
33, okay.
No, only 23.
Nice to hear you, Mr. Kao. How are you?
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Thanks a lot.
Good presentation, Mr. Dara.
Thank you, Mr. Zerouk. Mr. Zerouk. Oh, I see your face. What's up? You good?
Yeah,
Mohammed, I virtually give you a hug. Virtually. Exactly. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for your time and being here. So I see Huria is here. Hello, Huria. Thanks for being here. We have our students. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm not going to name you one by one, but I see your names. Who? Bonjour, bonjour.
Yes.
Bonjour, ça va?
Ça va.
Oui, merci pour le temps. Merci pour être là, Huria.
C'est un plaisir de participer.
All right. So, Salima, we start?
We can, let me check. We have 35 participants, so you can start, yeah. If you are ready, let's start.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. I hope you are doing well today, and thanks for being here. First of all, I want to tell you that I put some documents here. This is a Python workshop, and for sure you need an installation of Python. Then we're going to do a couple of IDEs, but mainly we're going to work on PyCharm, and which is from JetBrains. So I put it here like at 7:34 in the morning. So we're going to use at the end, if you have time to make a couple of web services, we're going to use Postman. So if you don't have Postman installed, you can install Postman. It's super easy and it doesn't take a lot of time, but the question is you have to create an account, and it takes maybe 2-3 minutes to do it. So this is Postman, if we can do web services. Then we're going to go along our workshop, and we're going to install lots of, I don't know, 8-10 different libraries, packages. Then I wrote them here, all of them for you. So, and we're going to go through each. I give the semester, the course is here. If you want to see what we have done, you go to this link on my GitHub, and you can see the whole course is here. It's public. Then this workshop I have give it before, and the retraction of the student was If we do as we do during our lectures and we do just live coding, the whole thing, they cannot follow along because it's a little bit more than it takes more than 2 hours to write. This is about like 850 lines of code. And so because of the retraction of the student, I decided to give it to you, and I have it. So you can just simply go to the link, get the code. And so this is the course. This is the whole course that I give this semester. So from week 1, you see, then you can control F week and go and see whatever we have done, and it's line by line. I think it's clear. Then in this tab, we have this 122 lines that you can just copy and paste it and put it on your IDE, and I hope you have PyCharm. So this is exactly what I did. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go, so I have here explanation, and you can just keep them or erase them, whatever you like. And here it is how I'm going to do. So I have these 3-4 lines that I want to execute. Then I'm going to put them, uncomment them, I'm going to execute them, and we're going to talk about it. Then we go to next, and I'm going to erase them in order to be, you know, so you're shrinking the file little by little. So let me tell you something. When you do a workshop, I have assisted to many workshops in my life. Sometimes there are things you don't understand. Sometimes there are things that you cannot follow. It's okay. Don't get frustrated, okay? Because I was getting frustrated sometimes when I was younger. Don't get frustrated. This code, I put as much as comment that I can, and the idea is you just uncomment the whole 800 line, and you can just run it, and it's run without having any bug. It's not a complex code, it's an easy code, okay? So what is the idea of this workshop? Actually is, I cannot put it in other words than giving you, introduce you to some libraries and some tools in Python language. And of course, each of them are a sea, an ocean, and we are just scratching the surface. And I'm giving you kind of a spoon of each of them. So you just, if you have never heard about NumPy, now you're going to hear about NumPy. You're going to hear about NumPy, and it's your curiosity, it's your responsibility in order to go and dig a little bit more about NumPy. So I'm going to wait here like 1 or 2 minutes. If you haven't gotten the code, go and get the code. You have it on GitHub. As I said, you have all the links here that you can check and go. So one is the course that we are giving. This one is the course that we are giving this semester, and the other one is the workshop that we are doing. All right, so let's just start by saying, let me tell you why Python. Even though it's not a Python course, but let me tell you why Python. Python has been around for about 25 years. It's a scripting language, and it's a slow language, and because it's dynamic typing, and it's an interpreted language. And this is kind of the language like JavaScript that at the beginning, the idea was creating a bicycle. And slowly they built up a rocket over the bicycle, okay? And it's open source, okay? It's among the, I don't know, it depends on the source, but among the 5-10 most used and most in-demand language in the industry. Python kernel is not that important. But whatever is the ecosystem that we call around Python, this is what makes Python incredible. And this is what makes Python super powerful for what it's the use of Python. So Usually when we want to work with big set of data, we use Python. The idea of Python have been to create a language easy to code, usually for people like scientists who work in the labs, like in chemistry, in physics, in mathematics especially. And they are not really good in programming, and they are not programmers. So that was the first idea of Python. So we have here, I wrote a definition of packages and libraries, etc. And what is NumPy? So you start with NumPy. NumPy is a multidimensional array. What does it mean? It means that an array which has many different dimensions, and you can add up dimensions. So you can have an array with 1 dimension, you can have an array with 5 dimensions, you can have an array with 20 dimensions, and you can reshape your array. NumPy has been written in C language, like the kernel of Python, and NumPy is super fast. Okay, so we're going to do some tests later on, and you're going to see NumPy is faster than, for example, list in Python. I'm going to take this out now, and this is how I'm going to roll during this workshop. So I'm going to talk, I'm going to erase it, then we go for the rest. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do here, that of course I installed NumPy. If you go to here, you see I said pipe install NumPy or pipe3 install NumPy. You do this on the command line. I can take it from here. I'm going to do it for this one. And if I go, this is my command line. If I just run it.
Sorry, Dara, I have a question.
Go ahead.
What is the new environment using virtual env, pipe env, or conda?
We are not doing conda. The what we do is, if you ask for pipe and pipe3, pipe is the general management system to bringing library in. The pipe3 is starting at the version 3 of Python, but the pipe is working too with the version 3. So that's why I put both of them here.
Okay, because the question is on the chat, if you can see it. I don't know if it is it answering your question, Stefania? Just write it on the chat.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
All right. All right, guys, suggestion is ask a lot of questions, write it in the chat, and we're going to through all of them, because I absolutely want to finish the workshop and I cannot stop in the middle, okay? But even though the workshop is 2 hours, I can stay here and I can, if there is something I can help, I'm going to do it. But just let's do it, because I have done this workshop 3-4 times, and I know that this is the best formula. Okay, so here it is. I have NumPy now. So you do the same thing, either with pipe3, either with pipe. Okay. Then I import it to my environment. Now that I have it, I can import it to my environment. What I have here, I have a list of 12 elements, and it's a 1-dimensional array. So how can I make this a 4-dimensional array? And each of them has 4 arrays, and each of them has 3 elements. So I can use the reshape method, and in the reshape method, I pass 4 and 3. So now if I run this, as you can see, my 1-dimensional array, now I have 2-dimensional array, and I have 4 array in the 2nd dimension, and 3 of them, 3 elements in each of them. The number of elements didn't change, you see, the number of elements didn't change. So let's continue with the reshape. Let's do 2 array of 6 elements. And at the same time, just check the speed of this thing. So now I'm doing 2 array of 6 elements. 2 array. each of them 6 elements. So I'm going to take them. Now I have 6 array of 2 elements. So if you have the code and you just
what? Excuse me, somebody by mistake turned on their mic. Respectfully, if we can just ask you to keep your mics off during the presentation. Thank you. Sorry, Dara, about that. Go ahead.
No problem. I think it was a kid who opened the mic. All right, so
learn Python, Dara.
all right, so now I want to show you how with reshape on the array we can make it like 6 array of 2 elements. So let's run this, and I put this this hashtag in the middle so you can see the differences. You see how we can reshape the array nicely with just adding it to the reshape method. And this is super fast in order. So I'm going to just clean this like that. So in this example, we're going to do a 12 arrays with one element. So we are playing with the same array, and I just add up some exercises just to see how we can play with the same. So as you can see at the bottom, see we have 12 array of 1 element. Okay, let's erase it. If you're doing it with me, just do it with me fast, and we do it like this. So convert the following one-dimensional array with 12 elements into 3D array. So now we are adding one more parameter here. So I have 12 elements in my list. Do not forget, this is a list inside. We are passing, and this is a constructor of this array. You see, this is a parenthesis that we are passing the parameter, and as a parameter is text this, and it's a constructor for a NumPy array. So it's creating a NumPy array and storing it in this array. So now we want to reshape this after the creation of NumPy. We want to reshape it to 2 arrays, which contains 3 arrays, and each of them 2 elements. So let's do it. Here we go. So as you can see, I have 2 arrays. This is the first one, and the bottom one starts here and finish over here. And each of this array, I have 3 arrays. Here we go. You know, I stop here before the second closing curly braces, square bracket, sorry. And in each of them, I have 2 elements. So 2 array, each of them contain 3 array and 2 elements. All right, so we did a couple of them to see how it works. Now let's see one which is a little bit bigger. This one here. I am adding another parameter here. So till now we had 3. Now I'm adding one more. So in this case, we'll have 2 arrays, which contain each of them 3 arrays, which each of them contains 2 arrays, and each of them are 1 element. You see, slowly the imagination of the human is becoming. So if you look at this, I have 2 arrays. I have to go from here. Look, I have 2 arrays. In each of these arrays, I have 3 arrays. So this is the third array. You see. And in each of them, I have 2 arrays. Here we go. And each of them, I have 1 element. All right. So the code is super easy. You just have to, if now I go a little bit fast because I want to finish this, but if at home you play it and you take a look at it, you will understand it easily. All right. You all know what is range. And now with ranging, we want to create an array in NumPy. So I don't think I need this anymore later on. I'm going to clean it. All right. So now with the range, I want to make an array. I just want to open a parenthesis that the range architecture in the RAM in a way that in NumPy, just the range not the list, just the range. A range of 10 elements and a range of 1 million element, it takes the same space. I know it sounds very busy, but it's bizarre, but it's how it is. So we are creating a NumPy. We type. I want to know what is the type of this, because I haven't checked till now that I am really creating a NumPy. So I'm creating a NumPy, as you can see. And I have a range which starts at 0 till 26. We know that range doesn't cover what is the, I mean, it's not included the last element inside. All right. So let's clear this. Now let's reshape this. So now I'm going to do I'm going to reshape it to 3 rows, means that 3 arrays and 9 elements each. So I had 27 elements. Now I'm going to do it 3/9. Here we go. 3/9. In the other example here, we are making the same thing, 3/3. The same thing that we did with list here. We do it with, in our NumPy, we created with range, and now we do it. So 3/3/3. So now we're going to have 3 group or 3 arrays, each of them 3 arrays, and each of them 3 elements. And don't forget that the number of elements are not changing. Always we have 27. So if I look at this here, 1, 2, and 3, and I have 27 all the way. All right. Now that we played with small ones, let's play with a bigger one. So here we go. Now I have how many elements? 3, 100 million. So it's going to create me a NumPy of 100 million elements. And I want to reshape it to 1000 array, and each of them has 100 array, and each of them has 100 array, and each of them has 10 elements. So can we do it? I don't know if you felt the how fast it is. This is super duper fast. So we just created here 1000 array. Each of them we have 100 array, and each of them we have 100 array, and each of them we have 10 elements. So this is kind of, you know, really, really, really fast. Okay, let's create another one here. So I cannot count the number of 0, but I wrote 7 dimensions of 10 elements each. So here we have 7 dimensions. So I have 10 arrays, each of them have 10 arrays, that each of them have 10 arrays, that each of them has 10 arrays, then each of them has 10 arrays, then each of them, etc., etc. Okay. And as you go, we are creating it. And when it's long, we don't have a space. Here it puts the 3 dots, which is, but I know that it did not, you see the numbers start at whatever 70 and it finished at 79. So I have really 10 elements in it. So it is multidimensional, and it is kind of super fast. All right. Let's clear this. So this is a list, okay? And from the list, I want to create a NumPy. All right. This is nothing extraordinary. This is a list, and this is a NumPy. This is a 2-dimensional now, 2-dimensional list. And I'm creating a NumPy from it. Just pay attention for people who have Python course this semester that, okay, this is a list and this is a NumPy. As you can see in the list, I have comma in between the element. In the NumPy, there is no comma. You see? All right. I'm going to tell you why not list and why NumPy and what is the advantage of NumPy soon. Okay, but let me first show you that here we made NumPy from list. And let me take this out. And probably in your course, you do tuple, right? And you know what is a tuple. And now we're going to do, this is a tuple here. And now we're going to pass the tuple. So we're going to create NumPy from tuple. So the objective is just to show you that you can use it with many different things. I think I put dictionary here too, if I remember right. So here it is. I have a tuple, and now I have a NumPy array that I have created based on the tuple I created based on list. So you can do the conversion, okay? And you can do your manipulation in the NumPy pretty easy. It's really, really handy. Okay, so here I added an example in flattening. So meaning that doing the opposite here. So here I have a list, right? It has 3 elements in it, okay? In the reshape, I did many different parameters. If I pass -1, it's gonna make it flat. It's gonna make it one line. So you have to, here it is. So I have a NumPy, and this is a NumPy, it's not a list. And there is no comma, okay? That's the hint. And it's like one dimension, so you can do the opposite, okay? So it's your curiosity. You have, at home, you have to make a huge NumPy, and when we reshape, see if you can make it like one dimension. And believe me, you can do it. But anyway, I'm telling you to be curious and go dig it more. Okay. All right. I don't know if I need this anymore. All right. In an array, in a NumPy array, well, it's like we iterate in an array. And the easiest way is to go with for loop. So actually, I don't know why I put the print here in the middle of the 3 dimensions. So as you can see, I have the 3 dimensions here. So, and the last one. So I put the end here just to go line by line. It's like a concatenation one after the other, not putting it in one line. You know it, you are coder. And here I'm printing the elements. I don't want to print the element. I don't know what test I was doing that. I can just put it like this to be cleaner, because it's going to be too much of the things coming out. So here we go. This is it. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I went through my array. Of course, you are a coder. You can play with this and you can make it the output that you want. But here it is. Our output. So each time it goes to its increment x, it's going to give me a space. So this is what I wanted. So this is one way. Another way that I want to introduce you is iterating with step size. And for this, we can use this. I don't know how to pronounce it, but Nditer or Nditer or whatever. So as you can see, now I put a step of 2 here. So it means that I want to go step of 2 and display it by a step of 2. So this should, by my logic, goes display this, not display this one, and display this one, and not display that one. So displaying 1, 2, 3, and then 7, 8, 9, because I go by the step of 2. So you have a small example here, then you can go and dig to see. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. So by step of 2, it's bypassing these 2. We could do it in our previous example too with the for loop. All right, then. I have an explanation here.
Sorry, Dara, can you take some questions or we wait at the end?
Go ahead. Yes.
What's the point of making a numpy out of an array and removing the comma between elements?
Okay, it's not just removing the comma. Actually, there is no. We take the numpy, and this is a library. Let's say it's a tool in our toolbox. It's an extra tool in our toolbox. The way that list that we use in Python has been created is by pointer. Each and every element in the list is a pointer. Okay, this is one thing. This means that when you want to manipulate a list, you are working with pointers behind the scene. Why is it like this? They have created like that. Okay, this is one thing about the list. And in NumPy is not by pointer. In the list is by pointer. The second thing is Python is dynamic typing. Okay, and for each element in each iteration of the list, because we can have whatever we want, there is a checking on the type of the element. So a little bit later on, so two things. List is by pointer. NumPy is not by pointer. This is one thing. The second thing is on the list, in each iteration, there is a checking on the type because Python is dynamic typing. Okay, so we are delegating to the interpreter to give us, it's not like C#, it's not like Java to being static typing. So that's the idea. The idea is not to take so we want a tool in order to, when we have big amount of data, to put it in that tool and with that tool, make it more faster. So, and this is one thing, with that toolbox, in our toolbox, when we have a NumPy, there are some methods coming with that. Those methods, some of them are not available in the list. So there are some extra method, and it's especially the speed. Okay. And even though I'm saying the speed, when you make test, when we go a little bit down, you're going to see I left the note over there. There is a range for the number of data that we are using NumPy. Okay. So it's you want to I don't know, do whatever in life. There are different tools, and each tool has its own advantages. Can we do many things that we do in Python without touching NumPy? Yes, but it would be a shame not using NumPy when NumPy is available. So I hope I answered the question generally.
Thank you.
Yeah. No problem. So that's why we are NumPy, and we are using NumPy. And don't forget that in NumPy we are using in Python we are using big amount of data. So that's why everything is converging towards working with big amount of data. But here, of course, we have small. We did the range with 100 million or 10 million or 100 million elements. So you saw, I wrote a piece of code here, and you're gonna see why you should use NumPy. Okay. So here, yes.
That's it. It's good. Thank you.
Said okay. All right. So here it is. Yeah, creating NumPy with dictionary. So we saw with list, we saw with tuple, and here is with dictionary. So we have keys and we have values, and this is the dictionary. So let's see if we can bring it to NumPy. So the idea is whatever you have, you bring it to NumPy, and there is no problem. Okay. So now we have a NumPy array, and this is a dictionary that we brought in. So you see, this is a dictionary. All right. All right. Let's I'm going to do it like this. My number of line of code becomes smaller, and it gives me some hope that we're going to finish this thing. All right, how to turn a list of different size list into a NumPy array in Python. Okay, so what is my problem here? I have this list here, and I want to convert it to Python. I want to convert it to NumPy. And I have 3 elements here. And these 3 elements are, each of them are a list inside my list. The problem is I have different dimension. So here I have 2 elements, here I have 1 element, and here I have 3 elements. If I want to convert this to NumPy directly, it's not possible because the number of elements should be the same in order to be capable to do it, because it's a list. So what can I do here? We wrote this piece of code here. So what it does, this piece of code, is we have another list which takes the length of the row. We are passing each of the row in our list, and this is a collection. So we are passing it. This is a local variable to my collection, right? And each element that it goes, I'm going to take what is the length with this built-in function. What is the length of the row? So now I know that I will have 3 elements in this array. One of them is 1, one of them is 2, and one of them is 3. So this is what I will have here. Actually, in the order, I will have 2, 1, 3 here. Okay. Then I have a maximum function that I'm going to pass my array here. When I say array, I mean list. I pass the list, and I'm going to print the maximum here. Okay. And then I'm going to go through this loop till the maximum. For each of them, I'm going to add up none. This word none. So this is a way to balance these dimensions in order to create a NumPy. You see this piece of code? It will help you a lot if you want to work with NumPy. Let me just so here it is. You see this 3 that's come out. This is my maximum of the element. And then in the first one, I have 2 elements. So I added none because my maximum is 3. On the second one, I have 1. I added 2 none here because the maximum is 3. And in the last one, I don't need to add anything. So now I have 3 elements. In each of them, I can create my NumPy based on that. Okay. So that was a cool small piece of code.
Can we say that none, it's like null value in other programming languages?
Is it exactly null? Well, other programming languages, which one? C++?
Object-oriented for sure.
Yeah,
like Java, C++,
Java,
C#, they all have null value.
Have null value, yeah, but the way of managing null in in this way, yes, it's nothing, yeah, we are creating nothing, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you are a master of C#, Salim. I have to be careful when I talk about C#. So I decided to to not argue about C#, but C++ I could, but C# no. All right. What we wrote here is, all right. So this is really long, and you're gonna read it yourself. But the things that I said about the how fast is NumPy comparing to the list. All right, this example is a little bit complex. Forget about it. Let's go to this one. So I'm going to take this one. This is 2 small functions which are comparing the speed of just using Python with the list and in a easy operation, and which is the plus operation, the addition, and doing it with NumPy. So we are calling the two functions, and I have how many elements? 1 million here, and we are calling it with the pure Python version, and we are calling it with a NumPy version. In each of them, we have a timer, and at the end, we are returning the difference of the time, the now time, the execution. When it's finished, it's returning with the starting of the time. Okay, and then we are just displaying the result, and that's it. So we have a string here that converts, because in the concatenation we need this. In some languages like Python, we need to do it. All right, so let's run this. Then you see what's the difference, because in the calculation, and then at the end we say what is the calculation. And look at this. NumPy is in this example 155 times faster. And you have this code at home, you can play around. 155 times, okay, faster than using just Python. So, I mean, should you use NumPy? Well, the syntax is easy. The bringing it, the package is just the pipe install NumPy, and you have plenty of methods. I don't know all the methods of NumPy, but you can go through the library and see all the methods of NumPy. And so I don't have any stock of NumPy. I'm doing the marketing for NumPy, but all right. So guys, 40 minutes, you get a spoon of NumPy that was our idea. So you get an idea of what is NumPy. Now you have this workshop, and you have, you can find other stuff on internet and in your Python class, etc., and dig a little bit more about it. All right. So one of the field of Python, one of the places that we use Python a lot is in image processing. So last year we did with two of our students, we did something, and we show it in the image processing, in recognizing the image processing. This year I decided not to do it, because I don't think last year, because we couldn't go through the code and everything, and it was too much of a code for this. So last year we did it. Here it is. So we want to use another library, which is the Opencv of Python. So it's designed to solve computer vision problem. So what is it this? Actually, I have a picture, okay? And in this picture, I want to bring it and show it as a digit on the console. So I want to convert it and bring it as a digit. I have some digit, and I want to reconvert it to picture. This is what it means. This bringing the Opencv, using this Opencv library. So that's all it is. So how we bring it? Well, we have this pipe install Opencv Python. Again, I'm going to just bring it. I have it. For me, it's going to say that the requirement is. So I already have it. If you don't have it and you want to do it with us, do it with us. So I put here a file in the file section, which is the workshop. If you haven't get this one and you want to follow along with us, just take it from here. So because I don't in order not to change your path and everything, so I went in the C directly. I put it in a workshop. Just unzip it, and you have a couple of files here. Okay, these are small files. This is a JSON. This is a Excel file, And this is CSV. These are an image. These are a small gray image. This is a lion image. Actually, I really like this one. I chose it. And it's a high quality. Look at this quality. It's really amazing. Anyway, so we need a couple of images. We need a couple of files to play with them with Opencv and with other tools that we're going to use. That's I put it on C and workshop. So I'm going to clean this till here because I don't need this stuff. And as you can see, if you have some problem installing this, I put a, different machine, different problems. You can create a wheel and go and go and go. So let's just. So for me, it's working. I hope for you it's working too. All right. So we said that this image is just to bringing it in and to bringing, just to bringing it in and taking it out. Okay. So here is the image, small gray PNG. Okay. And this 0 here in the second parameter of this means that this is a grayscale. So if I go to my things here, this small gray, if I double click on it and open it, there's a small little point in the middle. Here it is. This is my picture. All right. So I'm going to read it. Okay. With the IM read, I'm going to read it, this path. Okay. I'm going to store it to this EMG. Then I'm going to print it. So this is the idea of CV2. Just to bring it in and put here some numbers. So these numbers are the scale of the color, the black and white color. So it goes from white till to the black, or from black to the white. How do you want? From 0 to 255. So I'm going to have some numbers here, 0 to 255. This is what I'm going to have here by bringing this picture. So I read it and I bring it here. So I have some numbers. I have some numbers here, as you can see. So, different numbers that it shows the scaling of my images here. All right. So now I can do it with RGB too. So let me just put this print. This time I change just this for 1 and I do it with RGB. So it's going to give it to me with the RGB system in this one. Okay. Then I'm going to print it out here. So now in my EMG. So now I'm going to bring it in RGB or R. It depends on French or English that you're saying. The idea is just I want you to know that we are bring it in to our IDE and we are storing it in this image, in this variable here. Okay. So now the intensity, blue, green, so 187. So it's a blue and 187. It's the blue, and 198 is in this line is for the green, and 209 is for the red. Okay, there's two representation of the. So now we are using the method write. Okay, in order to write this new one. Okay. So now we want to write and create this new small gray here. How? By the digits that we have in this EMG. So if we go here, do I have a new one? I don't have one, and I want to create it. So let's run this. And let's go here, and I see I have the new one. So I'm creating the same image. Okay, if you look at it, you see that this one is a bit bigger in terms of size, or smaller. So it depends, bigger or smaller. And because there are some other in the, if we wanted to do it truly correctly, there are other algos that we have in compressing that we have to use in order to pass in between, in order to have, and we can get exactly the same size but it doesn't mean that it's not the same image. It's the same image. Okay. So now we want to do it for a bigger image, which is the lion. If you look at the lion, it's a heavy image, and this is a 3,840 pixel over 2,160 pixels. So it's kind of very, the definition is kind of amazing. So we do the same thing here, but this time is no more the small gray. So this is a bigger picture here, and I'm going to give it a scaling of 0 here, you see. So I'm going to read it with the scaling of 0, means that it's going to be black and white or gray, not color. And then I'm gonna rewrite it, and I'm going to give it a name, new lion here. All right. So before going to the directory to see what happened, I'm going to create the second one. So the second one, we give it the name not lion2, and we are giving here just the parameter 1. So now I can go here, and I see I have my lion2, which we read and which we write. And I have my lion, which is black and white, which is actually the black and white is even nicer than the color, in my opinion. All right, so that was a little bit of playing with CV2, which is writing and bringing these pictures. Let me just clean this. I don't know if I need this later on or not, so that's why I keep them. All right. Indexing, slicing, and iterating Numpy array. So probably I want to do it here with the picture. So let's first, just as a reminder here, it's how we do it with the list. So I have a list and I want to slice it. So I'm slicing the list. You know how to do it. This is not new for you guys. So here it is. For sure you did it in your Python course. And now here is with NumPy. We want to do it with NumPy. So first of all, in order to do it with NumPy, I need an array. So here it is. We're going to read it from our small gray that we learn how to read it with the CV2. And okay, I don't know what I put type. Maybe I wanted to prove that this is a NumPy array. So let's see. Yeah, it's a NumPy array. Okay, so all right. So now we want to slice it, and we want to take it just the first 2 rows. So here it is. We can slice it. What is the idea of this part? The idea is the operation that you can make on the list, you can make it on NumPy too. So here I just want the 2 first rows. So I have 3 rows. I just want the first 2 rows because I'm slicing it from 0 to 2. It doesn't take 2. It will be 0, 2 not included. So okay, let's do it. So here it is. I have the 2 here. Now, if we want to slice it from the middle, then we can slice it from the middle. So you just have to put a comma here. Don't forget the comma. So now I go 2 over 2. So I take a slice in the middle. So let me show you how it is. Here we go. 187. So if we look at this one, I make it a little bit, sorry. So here it is. As you can see, we take it from 0 to 2 to 0 to 2. So we took a piece of it like a pizza. Okay, so we saw reshaping on NumPy. Let's reshape my my image. But first of all, what is the shape here? It gives me how many rows and how many column or how many dimension what is the shape of my array? So it's going to give me that parenthesis with like 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. And now my EMG here, because let me just take all of this out. Like this, we can see that my EMG, what is it and what is the shape that it's going to give me? It has to give me the right number of the dimension. So 3/5, so I have 3 lines. This is my first EMG. So I have 3 lines and I have 5 columns. Okay, so this is the shape. And you could use the indexing to get the element we want. Okay, so this is going, you know, this is in the square bracket, going exactly specifically for an element. So let's try this to see 2 and 3, what it gives us. So I just want this one. So 2, the indexing, and 0, 1, 2, and 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So the index 2 and 3 is 97. So this is giving me. And here we go. We saw this one. So now in order to iterate Numpy, well, we know now. What would be in the iteration here? I'm not giving it like different dimension. So would it be like this one, plus this one, plus this one? Or would it be all the element, one after the other, line by line? Okay, me, I think it's going to be 3 elements. If you recall the 3 elements, because I'm not going through the second dimension here. All right. We can transpose the Numpy array and look at the transpose. So transpose is just to turn it, or in other way to change the line and the column, whatever you want to, whatever suits you to understand it better. So we say it like that. So here we go. So my 187 till 143, but transposing it becomes 187, you know, in one column till 143, and 198 till 147. Then we have transposed it. This. Then flat is used to make 1. Okay, this is another functionality to make it 1. And it's going to be 1 column, all of it. Here we go, 1 column. So the idea is it gives you a lot of flexibility, whatever you want to do with it. And the speed is super important. It gives you all this flexibility. Let me just show you the last things about this. And okay, I have my EMG here, so I don't need this shaping here. Then I don't need this neither. I want just to close the code to this. I have 2 print here, I don't need. All right. With HStack, what we can do is to put them horizontally. So I have 2 copies, I can put them 1 by 1 beside each other. So let's do this to see what's happening. So here we go. As you can see, my array starts at 187 till 143. So actually the first array is finishing here and it's pushed horizontally, the second one beside it. Okay, I can do it vertically too. I don't know if I put it here. And this is horizontally. So this is 3 of them horizontally. Here we go. So let's see, 3 of them horizontally. So now I have 3 of them horizontally. So my array starts at 187 till here. Then this is the second one. And this is the third one. So you have 3 of them here, one after the other. Can I put them vertically? As you can see, vertically, we can put them. So we're going to make vertically one beside the other. You see, this flexibility is amazing. Here we go. Vertically now, one after the other. So I have 187, then I have another 187 starting here. Okay. All right, so this is to make it one column. So I have an EMS here, which is vertically. Can I make it one so I can do the opposite? So here we are doing the opposite. I'm going to do it like fast. So here, just to show you that we can do the opposite of what we did. Here we go. All right. So, and this is put them vertically with the 3. So let me finish. So here it is. Now we can do the opposite of what we did. So these are just some methods to show you that we can do lots of things with Numpy array. So we use Numpy. Here we added up the CV2 just to be capable to manipulate pictures. And here we arrive to another part, which is Pandas. So we're going to wait here. Salima, I'm here for questions. If there is question, now I'm here for question. Before we give them an orange juice break. My student, they know what is an orange juice break.
That's why someone told me we have to ask sir if he wants orange juice. Okay.
So how is it, guys? Any question? Am I too fast?
No, it was perfect for me. So
it was good.
Yeah, good. We love
because
it. It's very interesting. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Because I just want to make sure that if you cannot go. Okay, guys. I'm gonna give you a break. You're gonna go for orange juice. Okay. Guys, the idea is just to faster to show you, okay, some part of the Python that maybe you haven't touched before. Then you have the code. You can go through it. So sometimes maybe I go fast, and you think that he didn't explain how the pivot table. Don't worry. If you run it at home, you will understand. It's super easy. I did it many times, so for me it's clear in my head, and for you, just the imagination. It takes just you run it a couple of times, then you see it's nothing complex. If there was something complex, I would explain it. Okay. So guys, let's take an orange juice. Yes. I show you, Nariman.
I understood. I guess I understood what is it.
I show you. Here it is.
I'm just double checking.
This is what they mean by orange juice.
It's your vitamin C. That's what I thought. Because I noticed this this conversation happening on your Facebook page with them, so I understood the joke. Yeah, exactly. It's vitamins. I always tell my students in class, because I'm a heavy coffee drinker. I say, go get your caffeine injection during the break and come back. At least you're healthier than me. You ask them to get some vitamin C. So there we go. Okay, so let's give them a break then. Great idea.
All right. So if you guys okay, so we take 10 minutes or 15 or 5. How many, Salima?
I guess 10 is okay.
10? All right. All right. So guys, I see you in 10 minutes, and have a nice vitamin C.
Thank you.
Dara,
Yes.
I just want to let you know that we had muted for now all the participants just to avoid mistakes in sound, like what happened earlier. So all the students are writing you in the chat for now. At the end, once your workshop is done, we'll give rights again in case they want to talk to you. So for now, just count on the messages in the chat for their interaction. And we're sorry about that. We just want to assure the the continuity properly.
I think it's a great idea. Yeah, because in the middle, then we are doing some stuff. Then in the middle, when they ask question, it's like distracting. Yeah, excellent. So
all right,
just
wonderful. I got my vitamin C, so let's go.
All right.
Hey, it's good. It reminded us that we need to boost our energy.
You know.
No complaints.
We're gonna talk about this this week after me and you.
We will. We are gonna have a panel of after Tech Week.
a panel of orange juice.
Yes, a panel of oranges and vitamin C. All right, here we go. Thank you, Dara.
All right. Thank you. All right, guys. So welcome back. So I went through the chat. I saw some questions, and I promise you we're gonna answer the question later on at the end. We have a timing for this, okay? And it's better to answer the question at the end, okay? All right, so don't forget, the idea of this workshop is, as I said, is to give you a test of many different elements in the ecosystem of Python, okay? So what we do is just your toolbox becomes bigger. You have more stuff in your toolbox, okay? So now I want to introduce you to Pandas. So what is Pandas? Again, as we wrote it here, it's a library, and it's to use for mostly for data visualization. So Pandas is again a library like Numpy, and it's a tabular, like it's a tabular, let's say, array. And as you can see, there are some numbers that I have found here that these are in the most important companies that they use, like 73 companies using Pandas, and comparing to 60 something. These are, really, really big companies that are using. I find these numbers here again, and this is when you really want to work with Python and the ecosystem, and you have cases, different cases, and the speed is really important for you. And I have this, like the performance on Numpy is better than Pandas for 50,000 rows or less. And the performance of Pandas is better than Numpy for 500,000 rows or more, okay? And between 50,000 and 500,000 rows, the performance depends on the kind of the operation, okay? So don't be surprised, whatever we do now with Pandas, we can do the same thing with other tools that we have. But now the idea is to show you, different tools that are available to you, all right? So in order to bring it, again, we do a pipe install Pandas. So you go on the command line. I already have it, so I don't need to bring it, but I'm gonna do it. It's gonna just tell me that it's already there, so you don't need to. So it's already satisfied. So for you, you just bring it, then you can use it, okay? There is another IDE, which is Ipython, okay? I added here the Ipython, and it's in the chat too. So you can pipe it, the Ipython, and I'm going to use just a couple of lines of code. Let's say just this, just to you see that you can use this IDE too. So if I go ahead here, I do a CLS. If I do Ipython. So I have now another shell here, which is available for us. It's your responsibility to go and dig why we are using this shell. It has its advantages. I'm going to use these 3-4 lines here because of the timing that we have. So I'm going to import pandas here. Then I'm going to create a list. So 2, 4, I'm just copying what I see on the left of my my screen. All right, so I'm going to print type of what I have done here. Then it's okay, there is an exception, whatever. So it says that the class is a class list. Okay, so now you see that df1, this is the data frame, and this is an object of pandas, and this data frame is just a tabular, like an Excel file, something like this. You can imagine it. So if I do a df1, because I'm going to have many when we go a little bit down. So if I do pandas data frame and I pass the list here, so I have the data frame here of my list. Let's print it, my data frame, and you see that it brings me the list here. I have it in rows and column. Okay, so I have 2, 4, 6 here. I have 10, 20, 30. Ipython, okay, you can pipe it and you can use it. Go and see what are the advantages of and disadvantages. So I just shut it down, okay? Can we continue it just doing it here on our Python? Yes, we can do and just continue it here. I put a tutorial here that you can go and dig more if you want. Okay, the world of open source is always like this. You have a lot of stuff in it, and it's you that you go through it and you choose which one you want to use, and that's completely your choice. And so whatever I did on Ipython, I do it on PyCharm. So as you can see, I can see that I have a type of df1, which is a pandas data frame. So this is an object of pandas. It's a tabular table like this. It's like an Excel file. So I have columns. By default, it gives columns and it gives rows. Okay. So now we want to just add some stuff to it. So how about if I want to add up price, age, and value here for the column? Well, I can do it. I can add up. So here we go. Now I have price, value of age. Now I want to add here, I replace the 0 and 1 with row first and row second. Again, I bring it, you see, in the data frame. I have the parameter that I'm not doing anything extraordinary. We are just adding up here row and column to a label to our presentation. So here we go, our presentation. All right, so now that we are done with this, I'm gonna clean it. So we did some stuff in Numpy. We could bring what we could bring in, like list with it, dictionaries, tuple, some stuff. So I put some stuff like this here that we could do the same thing inside the data frame. So I have, let me open this. So as you can see, I have, okay, I have to port pandas. So as you can see, I have a list here. You see, this is a list here, okay, separated by comma, and the element of my list are dictionaries, right? So first of all, I print what is the type of this list, my list, what is the type. Then I convert it here to a pandas data frame. Then I print it. So I have a list, the elements are dictionaries, okay? And I do this stuff on it just to show you that we can do some nice. So I have the name Gabbar, and my students know that this is one of my favorite names, Gabbar Singh. And I have Jack Core, so I put it there, and I can bring it. So that was a list that we brought in. Now we're going to bring a tuple. So here it is. I have a tuple that I want to bring it as a data frame object, and I want to diffuse it or to display it here. So that shows the flexibility that this different tools gives us. Okay, so this is a tabular, and so let's do the last one, I think. Let's do it with a dictionary. So here it is. We do it with the dictionary. And look at the dictionary here. It's a cool dictionary, okay? And the first element is a string. The second element is a list, right? A cool dictionary, okay? We could call it a cool dictionary. And we are just displaying it, and we just want to show that we can bring it here. I have a set. So we did list, we did dictionary, and now we are doing, we did tuple, and now we are doing set. So I have a set of 10, 20, 30, 40, and I'm going to make it an object data frame. And you know that set is not indexed and in unordered, okay? So it's normal that the result is 40, 10, 20, 30. You know that set is unordered, and this is the result. So you're going to read all of this. So Pandas has the data frame, and Pandas have series, and series is a one dimension. Okay, so Pandas have data frame and Pandas have series. Okay, so now we want to, we are going to the analyzing. I mean, what means analyzing? Means that making some calculation on the fields. Okay, so we have a list. We are giving it the same thing that we did at the beginning. So I put it there. We're going to create this. Okay, so we have price, age, and value, and we have the 6 values in it. So 3 column and 2 rows. So I have my df1, which is my data frame, and in my data frame I do min, so it gives me the average of the column. And the type is a series. So the moral of the story is this is Panda. The Panda is a tabular data frame. And if I go row by row or column by column, we call it series. So let's run this to see what's coming out. So the first part that's coming out here, this part, is the result of this print df1. Okay, so we give it colon and we give it rows here, right? The second print that comes out, a df1 min, it's the average of colon. So my price colon has 2 elements, 2 and 10. The average is 6. My age is 4 and 20. The average is 12. And my value is 6 and 30, and the average is 18. Okay. Okay, the data type inside is a float. Okay. And I had the min and min. Here we go. I want to display. And what is the type of this min, which is the series, I said. So here it is. The type is a series. Pandas, data frame, and series. Data frame, tabular, series, one dimension. Okay. So how about I do a df1 of min, which is the average of each column. Then I do a min over that. So it has to give me the min of the min, means the average of the average. So probably the average of the whole number in the table. All right, so it gives me 12 as the min of the min. So 18 plus 12 is 30, plus 6 is 36, divided by 3 is 12, okay? All right, so do I know all the methods here? I don't know all the methods, but if I have to use it, I go through it and I use it. I just wanted to show you that how we can go for really to, in the data analysis, to do this stuff. So we do the last part here, let's do it. So I have a df1 of price, okay? Then I have the type, which would be a series. Then I have a df1 of price min. Then I have a df1 of price maximum. So part of the data analysis. So let's see what it gives us. So let's open up this. So this is my first, this is the average of each column that we bring it in. This is my minimum of each row. And this 6 should be this one, the price min, and the maximum is 10, which if we look at it, it makes sense for us. Okay, so just play with it and it's going to be more clear. So we have pandas, and that was a fast introduction to pandas. All right. So
can I have a question or we leave it at the end?
Go
Can
ahead,
we take a question now? Because it's related. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Someone is saying by using this pandas, can we read all the data from Excel file and store it in data frame for analysis or other purposes?
You can do whatever you want with pandas.
Thank you.
You can do whatever you want with pandas. These are extremely powerful. Yeah. We're gonna do it now. We're gonna do it in 5 minutes. So here it is. Another spoon that I give you is the Jupyter Notebook. And Jupyter Notebook, if you want to use it, you just pipe install Jupyter. This is another tools of the ecosystem, okay, that you just pipe it. And it does some stuff. For you, it's not going to be satisfied probably if you don't have it, but for me, it's satisfied. Then I give you that workshop file directory. So you do a CD to that workshop. You go inside that workshop directory as I wrote it here. Then you write Jupyter Notebook. If it doesn't work, do Python space -m, just read my file and you will see it. And hopefully it's going to work for me on Jupyter Notebook. Launch this. And this is a web, so it's going to open a tab here. So you see Ipython, Jupyter, okay, 2 tools in order to visualize and to manipulate data. Each of them has its own, advantage and disadvantages. So it's open directly because I was on my CD. I ceded to my workshop. It opened to my workshop, so that's why I see all of these guys here. Okay, I'm going to go to new, and I'm going to click on Python 3. Okay, you see this untitled here? I'm going to click here. I'm going to give it a name. I think in the file I wrote testing. So I'm going to write testing. So now if I go to my workshop, you see this directory .ipynb check has been created here. I have this testing ipynb, which has been created. Okay. So I'm going to take this stuff out. So for now on, we're going to play on Jupyter. Again, is it mandatory? No. These are different tools. And because I don't want you to be lost, we are seeing many different tools. Believe me, go back to this workshop with the explanation that I have on GitHub. then you will see you are exposed in different libraries and different packages and different things. And it's not all that we have in the ecosystem. This is just a little of it. But in order just, if somebody told you NumPy, at least you have seen it once. If somebody tells you Pandas, you have seen it once. If somebody tells you about, CV2, you have seen it once. This is the idea of this workshop. All right, so if we go to, and everything, all the codes that we are doing, we can do it in PyCharm. We can do it on the command line. We can do it on, okay, but we decide to do it on this just to use another tool. So if I go to help, I see the keyboard shortcut. So I have all my keyboard shortcuts here in order to use them. I can even create my shortcuts. I can go to my file and I can save whatever I did. I can download it in different extensions. Salima, look, we have it even in LaTeX. You see?
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, you should have access to this while you were doing your PhD.
All the documents that are written in LaTeX, yeah. We have to compile our documents to produce a PDF file.
They don't know. Writing an article, the research is one thing. Just to writing it in LaTeX is another thing.
We have to debug sometimes.
Yeah, content
exactly.
and or yeah, it's a hassle. Huh? I know. All right. Oh, I see Michelle is here. Hello, Michelle. Okay. So
she
Michelle,
said there are 2 questions. I didn't see them.
Yeah, later. I just wanted to answer to Michelle, to say hi to Michelle. Okay, so we talk later. So let's go back to our story. So I have lines here, okay? And there are a couple of things that I know, I remember, and I think I wrote it here like in shortcuts. Look at this one. We just want to get used to it. So I just take it from here, this print1 and print2. I just go and put them here. It's like Python. I take this out. I take this out. If I do enter, I go to the next line, okay? Like this. If I want to execute it, I do control, do I do control? Or I think I do shift enter. Shift enter, yeah. It's a shift enter, it's not control enter. So in the document, I wrote control enter, which is not right, it's shift enter. If I want to add a new cell, it's alt enter. Okay, alt enter. If I want to erase it, is escape dd, then escape dd, then let's say alt enter. All right, so these are just to see how, but you have the help in the shortcut. And here you go. All right. Now let's do something. We're gonna import the pandas inside our new environment, which is our IDE, which is the Jupyter, right? And we're gonna give it a path here, which is in the workshop. I have a file, this is a CSV. So I have a file called CSV, and I want to go and read it from Jupyter, the CSV, okay? Then look, I bring pandas. So I want to bring this guy, CSV, and I want to read it first, then convert it to a data frame and display the data frame. This is what we're gonna do in these 3 lines, okay? So let's take it from here, let's put it there. Here we go. Here we go. So this is what I have in my CSV. So if you go to this file, this is a CSV, then you will have that you have this. So we just brought a CSV file, we just convert it to a data frame, which is an object of pandas here in Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so let's try this one too. So there are different, different. I have no clue why I wrote this here, but we're gonna try it. So to get a list of what you have in the folder. So I am in my workshop, right? So this is what I have in my folder. So here are the files that I have in my folder. And let's just clean this. So now I have another CSV, which is called supermarket. So I'm giving another name of the variable, which is df1, and I'm going to bring it in my Jupyter. Oh. And if you go to the supermarket, you see that this is exactly what we have. So again, why we use Jupyter? Because the presentation is super nice. Okay, the presentation is super nice. So we're not going to go there, but we have other tools that we can add up to Jupyter in order to get graphs and, you know, other stuff. So that's the ecosystem of Python, which makes Python super powerful. Okay, so that's why we have many tools, and we have to do a combination of the tools. And it doesn't mean that if you dig in and you use some tools and you don't use some other tools, it's open source. So we have a lot of tools to do the same thing. You choose whatever you want. Okay, so here is a df2. Here I have a JSON file. You see, this is the same supermarket. I created JSON and I put it there. So I want to read the JSON file here. So read. So we read a CSV. Now we are reading a JSON. And we're going to bring it in. Here it is. Here is my JSON. Okay. So I added this note here that if you want to bring an XLSX, an Excel file, you have to pipe it. Okay, so me already pipe it. If you have to pipe it, if you don't pipe it, it's not gonna work. Okay, so you pipe it, and I have a third one, which is my XLSX, a supermarket, the same data this time in another extension. Okay, so this will be my third object here, actually fourth, because I have a df2. So here we go. I just have my Excel. So I have my CSV, I have my JSON, now I have my Excel. So how about TXT file? Well, here it is. I have a TXT file, and I want to bring the TXT file. Go. And all of this file with the different extension, all in my workshop, if you go through it, in French, we say à tête reposée. I don't know what is in English. With the head column head, then you can see that we are bringing different extension. Look at this. This is TXT. This is XLSX. And you can bring anything that you want. So how about this one? What is this one? Separated by semicolon. This is a CSV separated by semicolon. So here because I know here I change it a little bit here. Instead of writing separator, I put this. So sometimes you have to play with it a little bit, but this should work because I did the change to it. Here it is. Here it is with the comma separator here. Comma semicolon separator. All right. So what we got here is to set a header for our text file. All right, so I'm going to do it again. I'm going to bring a TXT and to set the rows. Okay, all right. I know what I wanted to simulate here. It says the first line becomes the header. Then we put this one. So I'm not gonna. Okay, I'm going to do it instead of explaining what is it. Here is the problem. The first line goes to the header, okay? And here with header none, we're going to solve this problem. Well, here it is. And we are solving the problem, okay? Now we're going to make it better because we're going to give it a header. And here it is, the header. So I'm going to give it headers. All right, let me clean this. And let me give it a header. And here I have header. So you see in the niveau, in the level of presentation, it's very, very flexible. Okay, so I have here other examples, just taking a part of it. I'm going to do it fast, okay? Here it is to setting an index. And we added up the ID here, you see, we added up the ID. Then we want to take, so now we want to take a part of the data frame. So we're going to take a part of the data frame. So like a slicing, okay? So so from city to countries, here it is like a slice. So go through it and you see, I took from 3 to 4, and I'm going to do some other stuff here, which are not complex, but it's a bit time consuming, and I want to do it fast, because I have something else to show you. Here we go. So I can go for one single element here that I went. Let's make a list. Okay, you can make a list, and then you can delete, and then because I want to show you something else, guys, I don't want to go through this. And okay, let's get somewhere which becomes a little bit interesting, more interesting. How about if I do this? Am I missing something, or? Okay, we just added up the continent here. Okay, I just added up the continent. Now I'm going to make another change, which is adding the continent to the to North America. So the country to the continent. So I'm jumping some things that you have the code, you can do it at home. Okay. Okay, so this is cool. Let's do it. So this is a transpose of what we are doing. So let's add a row. I want to add a row. So in order to add a row, I'm going to first transpose this. Okay, so we transpose it. Then we're going to add a column. Then we're going to again transpose it. So it will be a row. Okay, this is the way of doing it. And if you do it like head column, then you head column, then you see what I mean. Okay, so this is a little bit of manipulation. So let's retranspose what I did. Okay, retranspose what I did. And as you can see, finally, I added the line here. So what I did, I added column. First I transpose it, I added the column, then I retranspose it, and now I have a line here that I have added. Okay, so this is a way of, I just wanted to show you a way of manipulation of this thing. Okay, so now I want to show you something cool. Okay, and I want you to do it because this is super cool. Okay, a pipe install GeoPy. We want to use the service of geolocalization of a library, and you see how easy it is. Okay, so just pipe install GeoPy. Okay, and we have lots of decoders, like services that we want to use. There are lots of people, lots of companies, whatever, who does this geolocalization. And okay, because I have to import it, I didn't import it. I did it too fast. Bring it first. And let's now do a dir to see if we can see them. Here we go. These are the services that the service provider that we can do. And we're going to use this one, the ArcGIS. And let me put the whole code all together so it will be easier to, it should be faster to manipulate this. So we are creating a name here. Here we go. And then let me clean this. This I don't need it. Okay. And then I'm going to put this here. This is a 2000 St. Catherine. This is our college address, right? So this is our college address. Okay. And here is this, the geolocalization. So this is like 4 lines of code, okay? I know in a rush I did it fast, but believe me, look at my code and you can see it fast. You can put your home address and you will have the latitude and the longitude. And it's super easy to do, and you have the longitude and the attitude, not attitude, altitude. All right. So here we are doing the same thing by bringing for all the supermarket. Okay, so I want to do it like fast for all the supermarket, and I'm gonna just put this on comment here like this. So I'm gonna read my file, which is the supermarket file. Then we are adding a new column to it, okay? And then we are reading the coordinate of the column. Then we're gonna get the coordinate of that. Actually, we did this, but kind of we're gonna redo it here just to be. This is for one. This is for the one entry of the file. So this is my file, and this is the df coordinate here. Then I just want to print one of them. So as you can see, now with getting it, because I'm applying this object, the geocode method on the object no, which is the object that over there I put whatever I wanted. So it got, as you can see, all the coordinate, but because it's too long, you don't see it, okay? So let me get just the first one. Then you see that actually it's getting San Francisco, blah, 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 and it gets me the latitude. All right, so you are using the service here, right here, and you are getting the latitude. So if we go over in a loop, then I'm getting all of them. Here we go. So I'm getting all of them. And these are different digits. Okay, they are close to each other. They're in the same city, but these are different coordinate. Okay, so guys, I know it was super fast. Okay, I know that I rushed, but I believe again that if you look at the code, you can have a good idea of what we did. And I want to show you like one single thing. So this part of Numpy, Pandas, and this one is finished. But I want to, Salima, can we extend this like 10-15 minutes?
Yeah, sure. I think the next, let me check, the next meeting, it's at 3:30. So yes, but
yes.
Can we take a question before?
Yes, go ahead, because yeah. I want to show them web service, and I want
to
be. Go ahead, questions.
Thank you. So Samuel, he wants to know what do you teach and which sessions? This is personal question. And the other one, he wants to know if the CV can be applied to videos. CV?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, it can be applied to videos too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You just check the methods. You can bring videos in Pandas. You can bring videos in Numpy, and you can bring them by the bridge of CV2. Yes, you can do it here.
So the question, what do you teach and which semester? So every semester it's different. And this semester, what do you teach, Dara?
Well, it depends on Mrs. Salima. You ask Mrs. Salima what I teach. So
we're gonna talk about that after the demo. Thank you.
After. All right, so guys, I want to show you web services. Okay, and I'm gonna try to be super fast on this. Okay, I just want to show you my idea here is just to show you how easy it is to make a web service with Python. Okay, so here we are using Flask, and Flask is a package. Okay, and we know that in Python that when this letter is big, it's a class name, and this is anyway this. Here we are creating just an object. Okay, Flask, and this is a constructor, and we are passing name, and don't worry about this name, it's not that. And here, this is a decorator, means that this is, we are creating an endpoint here, and you did it in different languages, so we don't need to wait here. And what is a web service? It's actually, I call it a function that everybody have access to it, okay? This is a web service, a function that everybody has access to it. So in this case, my function is just the hello world. So everybody who goes to the root will get hello world. So this is my hello world first web services. We're gonna run it on the port 5000. And what is the notion or the concept of the port? Port is virtual, okay? If on the port 5000, it doesn't work for you, either kill your port, you can do it, or you are afraid that it's something important, just change this number 10 number up or 10 number down. This is not really matter, okay? So what I'm gonna do here, I have a Flask, okay, which is gonna take care of this. So I'm gonna just, you know how many lines of code? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines of code, right? I'm gonna run this. Here we go. So I have my Flask server running locally, okay? And it's running on 127.0.0.1, which is my local machine. This is my computer, right? On the port 5000. So let me just take this from here. Then let's go there. Let's paste this here. Paste it. And here it is. I have my hello world. This is my first web service. Okay, hello world. Super duper easy. Okay, I made another one, which is a little bit longer and bigger than this one. Then just fast, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna give you the code too. So suppose this is a store that we want to manage, okay? And people go to the endpoint to get information or to do things, okay? And we have different methods. These are the verbs that we are calling in the jargon of the web services. And this one that we are creating here is the RESTful web service. And a RESTful web service means that the web service doesn't have a state. That's why we call it a RESTful. What does it mean? It's a little bit hard to digest, but RESTful means that there is no state, okay? So if you contact a web service and you want to recontact it, if you don't pass a message to it that I'm the same guy, he doesn't know because the state doesn't change. The web service is there just to give you access to some resources, okay? It doesn't have anything, it just have access to resources. If the best way of having it is to have a database too, but we don't have time for this in the next workshop, God willing. Anyway, I have different endpoints here. Okay, I have different endpoints. So this one is different names, like the other one was hello world. This one have different names. So this is with the post method to do something, and this is my root for this with this decorator, means that if I want to have access in it, I have to add up this /store. And here is what it does. It's create a new store, and it's this is a dictionary. As you can see, this is a Python dictionary, okay? And what I'm going to return fast here to tell you, I'm going to use the JSONify, which I import it on the top of my thing. And what it does, it just converted to JSON, okay? This one is just converted to JSON. And I'm adding, then I have a get store, okay? And this get to store is just getting all the stores. So I have put comment here that, okay, we are going through, I forgot to tell you that I have a variable here, store, which is a list. You see, this is a list. And inside this list, I have my dictionaries. This is one with one key and the other one which has a list, right? So these are the dictionary. So, but we do the communication like other web services with JSON is usually the one that we use a lot. We have other extension too, but JSON we like. JSON is nothing but a string, okay? And I can add a new item to it, you see? I can add a new item to it. So these are a small piece of code that we have added. So usually when we want to try something like this, okay, we have different tools. One of the best one is Postman. If I open my Postman here, I already created, so it's gonna take like 2 minutes. Let me just run this here, okay? I'm gonna stop the previous one. I'm gonna run the new one.
Sorry, Dara. Nariman is asking if we can finish at 15, sorry. So
yes.
You have 15 minutes. You have 15 minutes to complete this.
To complete, all right.
Yeah, maybe
all
we
right.
keep 5 minutes for the questions, so you can consider 10 minutes.
Sure.
If it's okay.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
In less than 10 minutes, it's finished because I already created this test on Postman. So in order to use Postman, probably you did it in different courses. You create a new collection here, and this is a simulation of your endpoints. So I created here a couple of get here based on the endpoint that I have created. So this one is a getter. If you look at it, I click on it, then I have it on /store. And this is exactly, I don't want to go back to my code, but if you look at it, I have one that it's finished with this /store. So if I click on send here, then I get the name of my store. So the name of my store is my wonderful store. So which I put there. So I can add up store with post because here I have many different methods that I can create. I can add up store, and in the body, just don't forget that you have to add up a JSON. So this is JSON that you are adding. So now I'm going to add a store. So I'm going to click on it. So now I'm adding a store. So let's add up another one. Now I'm adding another one. Now let's get to store. So you see I have my 2 other stores that I have added. I see them here. Okay. I can add, I can get item from store. And these are all my endpoint that I'm calling, yeah? So these are the items. So in the post, I have added in the body that here I'm adding another item and the price is $10.98. So I'm adding. Do not forget that whatever we do, we are just adding them in the RAM. It's not a database. So the right way of doing this is to making it in the database. So I have added with post here, and I'm going to get them. And here it is. The next one has been added here. And I have other ones, and here we go. So I'm going to leave this code too. So go through the code and enjoy. Salima, I'm done.
Perfect. Oh, that's fast. Thank you.
So we have like 10, 15 minutes if people have question.
Yeah.
Thank you. We are here to if guys you have any question, curiosity, go ahead. I know that I went too fast, but
thank you. This is encyclopedia of Python today.
That's too much, right, Salima?
But it's really amazing.
Yeah, was it good? Yeah.
You're very good. Thank you.
I'm happy to hear that.
You know, the first time I heard about Python, it was 15 years ago. It was in my class AI. I did in my master degree. One of the students, he was using Python, and me, I was writing the same code in Java. So I used many classes, hundreds of lines of code. He did it in 10 lines of code. And he was laughing at me. I spent 2 weeks to write my code, and he did it in 1 day.
Yeah.
You know, and he told me it took me just a couple of hours. Yeah, it was the static, the language processing, the n-gram models. Yeah, and he did it in just 10 lines of code. So this is amazing.
You know, Salima, there is Carnegie University. That it's a very important university in US, and since 2015, in their engineering bachelor, the major language is no more Java, it's Python.
Oh yeah.
So it's you know, I'm an old guy. I'm a bit traditional, and so I stick on Java. But the reality is Python is it's as you mentioned, it's very short. We can do piece of code with Python, and it's super short. Yeah.
And this is why it's used for AI also.
Yeah. It's easy. It's easy to and it's easy to understand for everybody. So people come in the lab from different backgrounds, and a week after they think that they are Python programmer.
Yeah. So please ask your questions. Do not hesitate. Please, I'm reading the questions. I will ask it for you. You have 15 minutes to ask any question.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Zuru, for being here. Thank you.
And don't miss the closing ceremony in 15 minutes, please. Another channel. Don't miss it. You will have a surprise there.
Yeah, we will have orange juice for everybody. Mr. Fode, thank you very much for being here. Thanks a lot. Huria, I named Mr. Zeruk, Mr. Kao, Michel.
Fode has a question. Fode has a question. He said, why they call this language Python, like snake? Why not couscous? I don't know.
I think it's the idea was because you can manipulate huge amount of data, and Python is eating, you know, and bigger than Python, which and another layer is Anaconda. First it's Conda, then it's Anaconda. Yeah, this is another story, and these are for big data. These are for big data.
There is another snake at the era of dinosaurs. I forgot the name. Yeah, maybe that's gonna be the next level. Conda, yeah. Good, thank you.
Anyways, guys, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. All the students to be here for your precious time at the end of semester. I know you are under
thank you.
pressure, and Salima and Michel, and Mr. Kao and Fode, they give you lots of work to do, and you came here for 2 hours. Thank you. I know that you.
Someone he found the name for the giant anaconda at the time of dinosaurs. It was called Gigantoboa. My daughter knows all these dinosaurs, not me. Sorry. So giant. She's always talking about that, but okay. So maybe that's gonna be the next library. For
Yeah. We can do a big data one day. Thank you, Razi. I forgot to mention Razi. I see her name here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's not easy to follow with the chat, and there are lots of writing.
That's why I'm trying to read the questions. I'm doing that for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, thank you. Lots of names that I know. They're very, very great students that are here. I cannot mention all of them, but.
Hello, Salima.
Oui.
Mr. Fode.
Oui, Monsieur Dara. Écoute,
guys, Fode was no. Fode was my teacher. I want you to know Fode was my teacher 2 years ago.
Oh no! Thank you. So I just want to thank Dara for the good job that you did, and Salima, and also take the opportunity to tell to all the students that would here. You see here at College La Salle, the teachers are all friends and they're all here to help you. Okay.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
these tech weeks allowed you to know the other teachers and to see how nice they are, and they will be available to help you. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
I'm sure you saw Nariman for sure, and you hear about Kao. Maybe you don't know him, but you see his name there. Kao, Yukon, all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, Michelle. So this is a family. Okay, you see, you can ask anybody if you need help. We will help you. Okay. I hope you enjoy this week, and we will see you at the Salima. What do you call it? The end. We're gonna
Closing ceremony. Yeah.
the closing ceremony. Okay.
Yes.
So be there. We're gonna give you. You're gonna have something to eat and to drink. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Virtual. We're gonna send them icons of food.
Exactly. A good day, everybody.
But don't miss it. It's really amazing closing ceremony. Please don't miss it. It's gonna be in 20 minutes and another channel.
Okay, I will take attendances.
Exactly.
Fode, why you don't turn on your camera? You don't have your hairdo ready, huh?
Okay. Yeah, they were mocking me about my hair.
You should have warned me that that Oprah was gonna come for a pub visit the other day, but it's okay. You missed Dara's joke in the beginning about the 2 years. We're gonna have to fill you up on that so that you remain in the club.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Dara.
Okay.
No, because
nice job, everybody.
Okay, so thank you so much, Dara. This was amazing. If I may just intercept here for a second, I'm sorry I had to step out for 2 minutes. But I couldn't miss on not coming back to congratulate you for a wonderful workshop.
thank you, Naima.
Okay, so I hope that we will see everybody on the last channel for Tech Week. You can start joining us there in about 10-15 minutes. We'll be waiting for you. And I'll leave so that people can ask questions to Dara about the workshop as well. And don't forget your vitamin C, guys.
Yeah. I have 10 minutes for that. I'm running.
You need it. Thank you, Salima, for the moderation. It's really
yes, Salima, thanks
nice.
a lot. Yeah.
Thank you.
She's really supportive, Salima. She's amazing.
Yes.
So guys, I see you in 15 minutes in the other channel, right? So Salima, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
I see
thank you.
In 15 minutes in the other channel, right?
Okay. Thank you.
Take care, Salima. Thanks a lot.
Someone is asking a question.
Yeah, it's me. Dara, you heard my kids. I'm sorry.
Hello, Michelle. How are you?
Dara, I miss you, Dara.
Virtual hug.
I miss you so much. I hear from you. I hear about you from my... Oh, I can't. My husband is in another meeting. I'm sorry. I hear about you from my students. I hear about you virtually. I miss you all. Salima, ça fait tellement de bien de te voir.
C'est vrai, thank you. Me too.
Dara, I'm sorry, guys. No disrespect, but Clara rolled over my phone. The kids are home today. And you guys were like hawks. You were on it right away. The mute, I didn't even know the mute went off.
It's okay. It's happened. It's happened.
Very nice, Dara. Thank you so much. Very, very nice.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have a blast with the students on Tuesday with this.
Thank you. I put the whole code on GitHub. If they are interested, they can go and get it. I'm gonna add the web service too right now. I'm gonna add it at the bottom. The web service I forgot to put it. I'm gonna put it right now.
Yeah, of course, that would be great. Thanks so much, Dara. Do you guys think we're gonna ever have a Sanka set? Are we ever gonna meet? Have a virtual hug, a virtual laugh?
I think Salima said it's good to open a channel and having some
the closing ceremony. Yeah. Don't
And
miss it.
have
You're gonna have
something
surprises.
like
That's not the channel he's talking about. طيب يلا خلاص. I let you go. Very nice to see you. Thank you so much, Dara. Thank you everybody for coming. And we'll see you all next week. Have a wonderful weekend and study.
you too.
No,
you
no, no,
too.
not closed. There is another presentation in 15 minutes.
Wait, but
Yeah.
I have to go. I can't.
Ah, you okay? But
Sadly.
I'm telling the student, please try to stay here in the another channel, please.
And the other channel. Okay, enjoy it, everybody. Bye.
Thank
All right,
you.
take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
So see you.
Je m'en veux fumer en courant.
Ouais, vas-y. Oui. Vitamine C++.
C++.
Hello, Mr. Dara. Hello, Mr. Dara. Hello, Mr. Dara.